What's up, guys? Iggy here with Faltacunlimited. Another build today. We're going foam press, old school, for a P07 with Olight PL2. Now, different about this one is we haven't done this in a while, is it's going to be a two-piece pancake, hence the foam press. And we are doing 1.75 pancake loops, which are actually pretty popular. And because we're doing that, I'm actually going to be using our master drill guide. So these are the ones that are available. You can get them right here. And this is what they look like. They are laser engraved with, you got the pancake loops, you got the speed locks, then you got the P loops. So it does all of them right there. And these are available on the website as well, or individual ones, which I can show you those later. But actually, I did them in another video. So without, blabbering your ear off, let's get to building the P07. Oh, you can't even see that. P07 with the PL2. PL Mini 2. Black, right-handed, compensated, so it's open bottom. So we got to keep that in mind when we do this. But let's get to it. First step, if you guys couldn't hear it, it is a little bit chilly here in New Hampshire. It is yesterday was cold and wet. Today is just cold because it's now finally drying. But the ovens are on. They've been on since I got in the shop. We got nice hot foam right here. As you can see, it's very squishy. Hot foam is a key ingredient to a successful foam press. So like every 10 minutes or so, I've been rotating these so it gets good, because my press is only a 15 by 15 or 16 by 16, which eventually I'll upgrade. But that's on hot foam, so let's just get this going and into the press. What I like about pancake builds, no need to mount crap on the mold for belt attachments, because it's on the kydex. So all it is block the gun, block the light, done. I like it. Now this mold, I got this mold when I first got into kydex. This is a DIY mold, and the reason why I went with DIY is they were pretty much the only ones at the time that had the mold for the P07. But my go-to is multi-molds. But this company is no longer in business, so I guess it's a relic from olden days. So as you can see, it's already blocked for the controls on both sides, which means I don't need to do anything to it other than blocking this right here. So I do have, or I gotta get the correct size aluminum, which that looks like it right there. Yep. And that's all the blocking we're going to need, pretty much. I'm going to go ahead. Let's get this off. I'm going to go ahead. I have learned over the years that if we put a couple layers of tape on the bottom of the light, it helps dramatically. Because Olights, they're very easy to get retention wise, but sometimes they just suck. And I'll show you what I do to combat that. So, I have this bin of blocking, and I have these small pieces really thin, and I have found out that if I put them right here on the side, you could build that up with tape if you don't have any small stuff too, but like a popsicle stick would work. If you put it right there, it helps give the flashlight a little bit more of a channel to go into itself, and it helps a lot. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and let me do the slide real quick. Yeah, that's just cutting reliefs. If you don't want any folds or creases or anything like that. It's definitely needed. Kind of like when wrapping a car and stuff. So there we go. And then there's only one on this side. All right, now let's get back to this. That's going to go right there. And hey, that's all she wrote. So let's lock that in place and throw our pencil. There we go, there's one. And I'm going to take a small piece and put it right here in the corner so it doesn't flop when I flip it. There we go. On this side, you'll definitely need a little spacer on. And put it right at the edge. And the reason why you definitely need the spacer on this side is because the lever, the locking lever, it has a thickness to it. So if you don't, this is going to be crooked. We don't want that. So we're going to set this back. We're going to lift it up a little bit. And you want adequate space to get this so it bumps down into it. And that looks like it's going to be perfect for us. Go ahead, hold that while we flip. Gotta pull tight without moving anything. Right. And then I like to connect the back, because if you don't connect the back, kydex will get sucked down under it, and then it ain't coming out. All right, so that's pretty much it. So now we're gonna need the retention plate. Now this is not the retention plate for this. This is a retention plate that I did for the most recent build. Do I remember what it was? No, because that was yesterday. Well, this is the most recent one I did, but what I do is I have this piece of steel right here, which I believe is 3/4. Yep, 3/4. So when we're doing this, the wood is going to be 3/4 away from the mold, and our retention is going to go in that. That way it's not stupid wide. So as you can see, this actually went right here in the other one. I don't even know what it was. Let's just call it, oh, actually, so it's going to go like that if it was non-light bearing, and it's going to go like that if it is light bearing. So this is going to be like this. So when I go ahead and make this, it's going to be only 3/4 of an inch out, and then come up, and then just go straight across to the sight channel. And I'll show you why we do that later on. But then we get to use these. So let's get that done. And this is literally it right here. That's going to bing right there. So we're just going to tape that in. But see, this right here, I go off the furthest point, which is the trigger guard. And so there we go, 3/4 of an inch. I just got to attach it. More of our favorite blue tape here. That's just to hold the front in place. I'll flip it, center it. And work that down. Then I'll come back up here and do more on this side. And then I tie both of those in with the third one over the top. Then I usually take a big piece of tape, like the thick stuff, put it right here, go down. But because of what we're doing, I'm going to go ahead and just do another one of these. Really use the tips of your fingers so there's no tenting. And then I'll do a little one on the light. And there we are. So now this is ready. We just got to cut the material. Now there's a trick that I figured out. We're going to go this way. Cut right about there. Go a little bit wider. All right. So this, all right, it's gonna be going here. So we'll cut it right about there. Actually, we go a little bit wider because you'll see. So there's that one. So that's going to be for this guy, and then this is going to go right over. And as long as the top piece is longer, it's going to be a lot easier with tenting and whatnot. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. And then they're both going to go in the oven at the same time. Both, or not oven, but the press. Both presses will be done within like 5 seconds of each other because the timers, they don't count down the same, which is odd. But anyways, and then we're just going to go ahead and throw it in the press. And then when it comes out, it's going to be nice. And a little trick that helps me a lot is, well, we got our press right here. We have our mold right here. I'm going to set it on the bench above the press, the same orientation that we're going to put it in the mold. That way, if you're doing different colors, you'll know which way it is, but it helps because the longer end is going to be on the top, or the wider piece is going to be on the top. This is what I found that works for me. May not work for you, but I'm just letting you know my process. So it's going right there. That way we know. Oh, well, that's in the press. It's all set right there. I'm going to go ahead, while we have the downtime for your 8 to 10 minutes of cooling or a little bit longer, I'm going to go ahead and grab an order that I have on the pool table here with the dogs sleeping. And then I'm going to pull that. So it's either going to be a vacuum or something else that I could foam press because I have a second jack. You can see it right there. So as long as I'm not using the blocking that I need, I'm going to go ahead and prep the next one and possibly build it. But I have an order here for 2 vacuum form ones, but the material is not going to be in until later today, so I might as well form them, shape them, and then as soon as the material comes in, I just slap it on. As in, I think it's like, actually, no, I think it's all here, which is good. So I could just knock those out while those are cooling. So keep moving. I don't like idle hands. So let's go. Well, okay, it's an order for 2 holsters. One of them is in black carbon fiber, which is going to be here today, and the other one I have in stock, so I'm going to go ahead and build that one. The other one I can't build, so I can only do one of the 2. I'm still okay with that. All right, right out of the press, it looks phenomenal. I did cut it already because I just got back in the shop. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know I live on a lake. The road cuts through my property, so it's the town road, my property, and then my lakefront property. And all of a sudden, the dogs started freaking out, and I mean freaking out. So I look over, and there's somebody standing on my dock with a fishing pole. So, no. So there's no trespassing, private property, no trespassing, all over it, you know? I mean, I pay for that property for my family to enjoy, not for someone who doesn't ask for permission. Now, if he asks for permission, by all means, yeah, you're nice enough, I'll let you do it, right? But if you assumed, ain't happening. So I walk down there, I'm like, hey, you need to leave. And he turns around and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm from England. The hell does that have to do with anything? You're on my property. Goodbye. Now, if you're not aware, about a quarter mile down the road where he came from is public access to the lake. The further down you go, I own the property, then my neighbors own the property, then so on and so forth. So, and it's all posted everywhere. So the guy's like, well, my son works in Boston, which is an hour and a half from me. So we decided to go fishing. What does that have to do with anything? Get your stuff and get off my property. So I had to deal with that real quick. But anyways, back to this. This looks awesome. So here we go. Now I'm not going to separate the 2 layers. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab my glue gun and we're going to line up where to put it for the belts. Belt attachments, which is these guys right here, and we're gonna use a drill guide. So let's go ahead and get this going. But I'm hungry, so I want to do this because I want to eat. So with this here, I'm gonna take this, and we know this is gonna go right about there. I'm gonna line it up. It's the exact same thing. And what I like to do is, if I'm holding it, I want it directly under it. But we got this right here, so we're probably gonna go to that right there, which is gonna put these right around here. So that's more than fine, because usually it'd be right about here, but because we have this, we need to, actually we can because of that. So let's go, because we could also dip down, so let's go a little bit higher. I'll be happy a little bit higher. Here we go. We'll go right there. So we're going to come out with that, and then we're going to get our gauge here. Home Depot, it's like 20 bucks, called the contour gauge. And then we're going to go right angle to the slide. About so. And that's going to give you straight across where it is. Now, we know this is up here. Now, you can't really follow this body line because it's crooked. So do the best you can and get it to where you need to be. Now, this has to be RMR cut, so that should be more than adequate, which it is. And we'll move this out. We know this is going to be right here. So I'm just going to put one mark there, and we'll come over here, and I'll put that mark here. And then this is the drill guide. You can get that right on this website. We'll go right here, and we have to mark from here to here. And then we're going to come across to this side and do the same thing here to here. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we'll line that up, throw clamps on it to hold it in place, and then we're going to hit it with the 1/4 inch right here. So I'm going to knock that out. Move it to the other side. There we go. Try and make it parallel to the slide. And there we are. So again, this drill guide does P-style, or pancake loops, and then P-style, and then the multi-mold. Well, actually, yeah. I don't know if I have any up here. Yep, speeds. So we got the speeds right here, and the P-loops. So let's clean these up, and then I have a certain process that I do. Well, let's clean all these holes first. And remember, this is open bottom for a compensator. All right, so we're gonna put, let's see, retention is gonna be right there. So we'll put retention screws right here. And then we're gonna come down, map out what we want. What luck was that? Straight across. Now, if it was P-loops, I'd end it right here and angle it. But because it's open bottom, we are kind of limited on what we are doing. And then right here, we'll just line that up, and we know that we're gonna go right there. All right, so eyelets on this side, and that's it. Now at this point, once these eyelets are in, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut out right here so I can open it up and get this out, because I wanna set the hardware in here before I do this. Now the little trick I do is I'll take a small flathead, and as you can see where I cut it, there's open areas, and I'll stick it in and just leverage it and do that. And I'll do that around the whole thing. And that's actually another reason why I actually spray rem oil inside, because it makes it easier to come apart. All right, there we go. So now I'm just gonna open this up. I'm gonna get the light out. And the light is gonna go on the blue gun. Now we're going to drill these, add these. But before I do, I don't want it walking, so I'm going to throw an eyelet in and just clamp it. Clean those holes. Get the hardware. Throw this in there. These screw lengths are 0.437 or 4375 with 1/4 inch slotted post. Now before I put the eyelets in here, I'm going to keep it apart a little bit, and I'm actually going to blow it out. And the reason why I blew it out is that right there, there's no gap. If there was debris or any sort of that in there, any sort of crap, it's going to pop it out and then it's going to look like crap. So we now know what we're going to do. Let's see, and then this is going to come down. Yeah, we could do it like that. All right, so I'm going to cut out in the bandsaw. When I get to this part, what I usually do is I'll cut down, like off the line, and then come out and I'll slowly work myself in so I can make sure I don't go too far over it. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that out. Here we are, fresh off the bandsaw. So as you can see, I cut nowhere near that line. And, well, let's get you up here. The reason being is because I want to... Actually, it looks pretty good where it is. So I'm going to go in there with a scroll saw and cut that out. But plenty of room. This isn't even close to being tight, so that's why there's no retention right now. But it's going to be pretty good. So it's going to be nice when it's done. I'm going to go ahead and put that out in the scroll saw. Well, we just buffed the edges. Got it so there's no right angles on here. Rounded everything up. This looks pretty good. Now, what I did is I went ahead and just tightened the retention. So now... that's pretty good. When you fold it, however, it's going to loosen it up ever so slightly. So when you heat up right here to do it, make sure you squeeze right here, because what will happen is it'll actually spread out and it'll cause you to wiggle, and you don't want that. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to heat these up with the heat gun and the vise, which I'll set this in, clamp it in the heat gun, and just heat up right above the eyelets, and then take it and fold it at, you know, just, you'll do it enough over time, but probably, so it's right around there. Okay, it's not quite a 45, just underneath it. Because these are going to extend out pretty good, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and heat those up and get it going. And final part. I'm going to go ahead, throw 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Whoop, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. And these are all 1/2 inch. Some magic blue. And the one with the right angle goes on top. Just get one started. Move on to the next one. And tighten them up. Yeah. All right, there we go. That fits my side pretty well. Quick wipe down right here. All right, so here is the P07 with PL Mini 2. Outside the waistband, right hand. Well, the guy hasn't come back, but that wraps up this video, and people amaze me. So, P07 right hand with the pancake loops, and I gotta tell you, Drill guides work awesome. If you need one, you can get this link right here, and you can get them on the website. You can either get one, or if you get all 4 of them, there's a little bit of a discount, saving you some money because it's hard-earned money that you should keep. And then also the other blockings I have listed with it, so feel free to do as you please. But on that note, it is almost time to get the kiddo from school, so I'm going to go in, pound down some lunch, feed the dogs, give them some treats, and then get this stuff boxed up and out the door, because I have a pile. I don't know if you can... No, you can't see it. I got a pile from yesterday that I did during the Columbus Day while everything's closed, and yeah, got some knocked out and more coming, so I'm looking forward to what else I'm building, and I got some ideas to film for you guys to kind of make your lives a little bit easier, at least try and help you work through problems. So on that note, huge shout out to Holster Smith. I appreciate everything that they do for me and for all you guys. Hands down, best on the market, and free shipping over $90. So, and that's anywhere in the continental US. But I have a lot to do and little time to do it, so I will see you on the next one. Keep moving forward. Talk to you later. Bye.